Hello my dear friends, welcome back to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. Let's continue our journey, our series of Navamsa Chart or planets through Navamsa Chart in Vedic Astrology. I don't know why these videos get stuck every time. I go into some other series, then come back. But let's try to understand Mars placement in the 4th house of your D-9 chart and what are going to be the results that are associated with this Mangal placement in the 4th house. First of all, the dignity of Mars is very potent, and if its dignity is very strong in both D1 and in the D9 chart, Mars have the capacity to provide you with Mangalya Sukh. Now Mangalya Sukh means the marital bliss. But you will find only 10% of the charts they are going to have that thing. 90% of the Kundlis, they are going to have some sort of affliction to this Mangal Graha. Although 4th house of the Navamsa Kundli have the capacity to even handle the negative events also. 4th house also have the capacity to take out the negative urja of these grahas like Saturn, Mars, even the malefic planets, and then channelize that negative urja into the positive side. But Mars in the 4th house is some sort of a threshold kind of a capacity that is actually going to test your limit first of all. Malefics in the 4th house, they always tend to provide some limitations, or they will test your limits. Like up to what patience or what is the level of patience which is actually present inside you. And that is the reason why if more malefics are in the 4th house, they are going to become the #1 reason behind the delay marriage also. Even if you get married early at the age of 25 or 26 up till the age of specifically 32, that is when Mercury is mature. Mars mature at the age of 28. If you get prior to Mars maturity, like 23, 24 or 25, Mars is going to create a lot of imbalance in that relationship part. Depending upon certain other placements, this is also the placement where the age gap between the male and the female is going to be very high. Have you seen the 10 to 15 years or even sometimes 20 years a difference between the male and the female? That is because of this Mars. Even Jupiter is also going to create that part. If Mars and Jupiter, they are forming some sort of connection both in D1 and in the D9 chart. So this is actually going to represent that age barrier between both of you is going to be very high. In the positive side, this is a very fierce Mars actually. Because Mars is energy and 4th house is not only you, that is actually the career of your spouse and life partner. If you count from 7th house, this is becoming that house. First of all, Mars in 4th is going to give you a very, very extremely hardworking and extremely dedicated partner. Irrespective of whether you are a male or a female. If they are not professionally working, if they are a housewife or they are working in the household also, then this is again going to represent an extremely hardworking person. Like they have that kind of a capacity to give full contribution, not only towards the family, towards the kids and these kind of things also. Because Mars is just like having that soldier mentality, that warrior kind of a mentality. So Mars is somewhat acting as a protection factor in your 4th house. Now when the malefic planets tend to offer the protection factor in the 4th house, some might going to feel very uncomfortable actually. Because you might going to see some restrictions around you, like Mars try to restrict me. But Mars is that kind of a planet that have the capacity to take the best out of your chart and then contribute towards the 4th house activities. It may be in the form of financial support, it may be in this form of doing some household activities to support the partner, but Mars is becoming that kind of a #1 supporter. Although the small fights are going to be there, I'm not denying that fact. That small fights, that bickering between male female is going to take place, but this Mars will always going to follow the roles and the responsibilities, and that is the true dignity of Mars that you can actually see in the 4th house. Now if this Mars is extremely afflicted, extreme affliction of Mars will only come in 1 to 2 different cases. First affliction of Mars will come if it is debilitated along with the Ketu, that is a severe affliction. Secondly, if Mars is debilitated along with Rahu. Malefics conjunction with Rahu and Ketu axis in the D9 chart is going to be a representation of some prolonged kind of a karma that you need to fulfill in this present life. And if you need to check whether this karma is interlinked with my marriage only, or with my children, with my family, with my career, with my business, or with my money, you need to pay attention towards the D1 chart. That is your natal birth chart. Look where Mars is posited and look at the zodiac signs of Mars, that is the sign of Aries and the sign of Scorpio. You need to pay attention towards these two zodiac signs where these are posited actually. And then look into the D9 chart. That will actually going to show you the transformations from the D1 happening into the D9 chart. If for example Mars is controlling 2nd and 7th house of a Libra ascendant, 2nd house is your family, 7th house is your marriage. It means the transformations at the age of 28 only, because that is when Mangal is getting fully matured. So maturity of Mars have the capacity to manifest the results from the D1 chart into the D9 chart. And if that transition is happening in the positive way, like Mars dignity is improving in the D9 chart, you are definitely going to receive the wonderful results. But if Mars dignity is getting bit weakened, so you are going to receive that sort of a negative results. Even with Rahu and Ketu axis, this is also becoming the obstruction in front of you to carry forward the lineage of the family actually. Very difficult to obtain a child with Mars with Rahu and Ketu. Mars is actually the significant of the blood also. And planets going in the Navamsha chart with Rahu and Ketu actually represents there are going to be some backlog with regards to that planet. Now Mars is not only, you need to check D1 chart, look into the significance of Mars. Mars is connected with land, real estate, property related matters. And Mars is also somebody the karka of the siblings also. Now if that Mars is afflicted, this have the capacity to create certain conflicting situations, specifically first of all with your siblings. There is not going to be any major support system from the sibling side that you are going to receive because of this Mangal placement. Support system is going to be there, so that might going to be a superficial support system, like not going to be very 100%. Similarly, as I told you, with some other areas, you need to check whether Mars have the capacity to give the positive or the negative results. But overall, this is a balanced placement of the Mars. And most of the time I have seen lot of Shiv Bhagat, lot of even Shakti Bhagats also, like they pray Shiv Shakti and praying or worshipping the combination of Shiv and Shakti. That is actually seen with Mars and Saturn. If Saturn is also in the 4th house, that person is a Shiv Upasak. These people are also very like shy, or I will not say introverted, but they will not be able to be very expressive. Mars is also that kind of a energy. Malefics in the 4th house have the capacity to actually hide the emotions behind and take the responsibilities first. So they are going to be always fulfilling the roles, responsibilities of family. This thing I need to do, this thing, that thing, I need to look after each and everything. Malefics are acting as the provider, like we need to provide something. That is the importance of the malefics in the Navamsha Kundali. And that is why somebody the emotional part is getting in the backyard. There is not going to be much affection coming from family side also with this Mars. If you will think like that, my family is going to support me, that part will not happen. Even sometime financial support system is there, but emotional support system is totally absent. That is the maleficness of this Mangal. But if this energy is channelized in an extremely positive way, like Mars in the fiery zodiac signs, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, I will tell you this is a very fierce Mangal. And real estate is also going to become one of the biggest revenue source, biggest like source of wealth in your life. And you will see that yoga fructification is going to be happening at 28 or either 32. That is where the wealth generation side of the Mars is going to play its part. So I hope you have gained some deep insights with regards to Mars placement in the 4th house in this video with me. If you are having any queries, any consultations, feel free to contact me at my email ID. And I will try my best to respond you back as soon as possible. Till then, please subscribe my channel below. Make sure to hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon in the next video. Till then, bye-bye and take care.